Hello, I hope I'm speaking to a few tennis fans out there, and I'd welcome your comments. Are you happy with the tennis coverage being offered by Sky Sports these days after they took over the rights from Amazon Prime? Because quite frankly, I'm buggered if I am. Sky's tennis package looks as though it's been crocheted together by someone's auntie on Bring a Demented Relative to Work Day. Sky's new channel is called New Balls, please. And yes, they do miss out the comma. It should be called New Balls Up. By the way, believe it or not, just for one day, for some reason, they started calling it Anyone for Tennis. Oh, Sheila, that's as gay as a pink tractor. But whatever they call it, Sky's so-called coverage is unreliable, it's incomplete, and it's inefficient. The dashboard and interface is inaccurate and at times babblingly incoherent. Compared with the neat job Prime did with tennis up to the end of last year, Sky's offering is a shambles. It's shameful, and to my mind it's a downright fraud on the tennis watching public. By the way, the chumps running this crippled Sky Sports tennis channel seem totally unaware of the meaning of the word live. If they're only prepared to give us mostly live matches anyway, you'd think they knew what live meant. Have a look. 19th of February. This view offers live tennis from Dubai with no indication of who's playing, but the day's play was already over in Dubai and it couldn't be live. So if you hopefully hit the blue Sky Sports tennis link in this view, it did open to a live match, a men's match in Rio. Some guys leaping about you probably didn't need to see and certainly weren't warned about. The WTA link to the Doha Centre Court here is labelled live and states 33 minutes left, but it opened on a static logo. There was no live tennis there at all. So how would that last 33 minutes? The main portal link here is labelled live, but it showed only an upcoming ATP match. Upcoming isn't live, you idiots. But there was a live match, a WT match being played at the time. Kenin versus Kirstea. Why do we have to dig that out from those stupidly titled bonus streams? It was actually here on Court 1, though you didn't know it till you opened the link. There have been and still are countless other examples giving dead-end links and showing different times left that proved completely meaningless. Live tennis, WTA, Dubai. This leads with an ATP match. Why? But that match has ended hours ago and it's not live. And there's no access to the WTA match mentioned in the link with Swiatek or Rybakina. On Wednesday, March the 14th, I came across this. Luckily, I started doing something else, but I kept an eye on the screen. Bill to commence shortly. Christ's sake, why do they have to commence? What is this, a ballroom dancing class? Anyway, it's going to start soon. Only it didn't. It didn't start for half an hour. And finally, it didn't start at all, because the screen changed to this. Just a logo. The logo, containing no information whatsoever, stayed there for another quarter of an hour. And then it changed to this. The third panel showed completely different men's doubles, also billed to start shortly. It was an hour before it started. As we all remember fondly, Prime's dashboard was clear and the menus were easy to choose from. Each match had its own link with the names of participating players and their flags, unless they were Russian. You hit the link to the exact match you wanted and off you went. Who at Sky thought that that was a bad idea, or not affordable, or that they could get away with something far less user-friendly? I'd like to meet him, or her. Mustn't be sexist here. Women can be stupid too. So here's the stupid Sky version of a dashboard. And it's been as bad as this since the first day, but this is from March the 16th, the day after Indian Wells, and before Miami. Here's the Sky homepage. Sometimes there's sports listed randomly, nobody seems to care. Today there is Miami Open, link to the Miami Open, that's tomorrow as we all know. Oh well, it's not started yet, so there might be some information about it. Let's have a look. No, it's the Indian Wells final. And of course here, if you wanted to watch it, you cannot rewind it, you cannot fast forward it, it's just there. So you can never watch that final in full on this link. Right, now we are in the Sky Sports Tennis channel. The first thing you notice is that they use the same picture over and over again. Look, there's more of it. Seem to have had a bad outbreak of Djokovic here. Don't they know that Djokovic actually retired from Miami 5 days ago? Those fools at Sky. Here's another meaningless picture. Sabalenka is in the WTA, but Alcaraz isn't, and nor is Sinner. Here's ATP. Sabalenka's not in the ATP, but the player pictures they put on their links are usually not who you find playing when you hit the link. Sometimes there are three faces, even for a singles match or for doubles, as you see here. Where's the sense in that? Who at Sky thought that would be clever or helpful? Open it up, let's have a look what's going on.
Loosen up a little bit.
Yep, as before, the previous day, Indian Wells final, and you can't fast forward it or replay it. What use is that? However, when we come down to the tennis catch-up, and here's the women's event, singles final, Indian Wells, and there it is again. Same match as we've seen that before. Open it up, stop watching, here she comes, and of course you can fast forward this or replay it. Just so inconsistent, isn't it? You're not going to believe this. I just went downstairs and opened the same page, and the Miami link opens again on the Indian Wells final, and you can fast forward and you can replay. So I fast forwarded to the end of the stream, and it's only halfway through the match, 3-3 in the first set, and it suddenly starts behaving like a live stream. You can't go any further. Ludicrous. Here's some examples of those wacky links. Tennis catch-up, alright, you with me? On March the 10th. Indian Wells, fair enough. Indian Wells, Indian Wells. This is from San Diego, Bolta Serenko, last week. We caught up on that already. Anyway, moving on. This one is the big boy, Coco Swiatek, but the match is between Murray and Rublev, okay? And then we move on a bit and we discover a picture of our boy. Another link, Murray facing 5th seed Andrew Rublev. We've had it already. Here's a good one. Here's the big fella, Rafa, who's not even in Indian Wells, and some other people. But the match is Carlos Alcaraz facing Matteo Arnaldi. And that sounds good. That's Swiatek making a fist. Come to this one. Alcaraz v Arnaldi. It's the same game, chaps. Two different links. One with a nice picture on, one without. Here's another one. There's the big shouty and Birdman of Alcatraz again, and Ball Boy, I think. And it's supposed to be Raducanu facing Rebecca Mazurova in round one. Well, it was a good match, that one. But under a picture of Rafa again, it's not Emma, is it? We see Raducanu versus Mazurova. It's the same game. Why? We've got two links. 3 times over, 2 links where one would be quite enough. And they're very confusing pictures as well. And notice this. This one's labelled 104 minutes, and this one's labelled 104 minutes. But when you start this one, it started 3 games in. It played 3 games already. It can't be 104 minutes. The other one's 104 minutes.
One of the best finals.
One more just to underline the stupidity of it. First link, WTA semi-finals, Indian Wells. Doesn't say whether it's men, women, children, God knows. It turns out to be Swiatek versus Kostyuk. Second link, men's doubles. Third link, Indian Wells, Swiatek versus Kostyuk. We just had it. Why is it there twice? I got a treat for you here. Today is March the 20th. The Miami Open is in full swing. We're on the sports tennis page, and day 2 is listed with dear old Djokovic, who isn't even in the competition. Open up, and it's these guys. Don't want to see that. Today at 11 p.m. Well, that's got to wait for that one, so let's open up and see what's happening instead. Draper and Daniel, why have we got the same match? Why couldn't they give us 2 different matches here? God knows. Here's what they call the bonus streams. This is what we're paying for. The basic rundown of all the matches in the series. And calling them bonus makes it feel like some sort of handout. Grandstand. Good old Rogers hammering it out with Fruviatova, is it? Yep, there she goes. On the way through that one. Oh well, it must get better, mustn't it? Well, maybe. Down here is the famous catch-up. Yesterday, Simona Halep returned to tennis after a long 9 months tennis ban, was it, for alleged doping? Halep returned playing Badosa. Badosa won a great match. It's not here. It's Venus and Schneider. No, I love Schneider and I don't care much about Venus, but is that all they can give us for tennis catch-up on day 2? However, what I'd really love you to see is this down the bottom. Here's a list of randomly selected US Open matches from 22, and so on along the line. Why not 23? That was last year. This one says Alcaraz versus Ruud, 22. Let's open up. In case we got bored with Miami, let's watch a complete US Open from 2 years ago. Excuse me, Venus and Serena. That's not what it said on the label. Go back again, must have done something wrong. Alcaraz, Ruud. No, Venus and Serena. Excuse me. Well, Venus and Serena, is that just a misprint for Alcaraz and Ruud?
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's a misprint for Potro and Federer. I kid you not. Did you see that? Ask for Alcaraz, Ruud. Venus and Serena. Open it up. And you get Potro and Federer. Can you believe this shit? Let's do it with this one. This is good old Swiatek and good old Jabeur. Venus and Serena. Open that one, and you get Potro and Federer. Well, what's the secret? The secret is you ignore this nonsense about Venus and Serena. You go Alcaraz, and then look, there it is. Okay. Give them that, but what's with Venus and Serena? Same for all these. You can open them up in this view, but what the devil's that about? I have to add an update here. This is still on catch-up. What you've just seen is from the morning of March the 20th. By the evening, the menu had changed to this, but my God, just look at this chaos. 24 hours too late, in my opinion. They are showing as a catch-up the Halep game, which I was looking for yesterday. I mean, that's good, but there's a total of 1, 2, 3 catch-up matches. How many games were played yesterday, Sky? Was anyone counting, Sky? Oh, I expect someone ran out of fingers. Anyway, you can see Venus and Schneider is still there, like I mentioned before. Fourth one along. Third along is the Halep Badosa game, which I was looking for 12 hours ago. Okay, good. There they are. No, they aren't. Somebody else, but apparently Halep and Badosa are now in the ATP. Well, okay. Now, let's look at the first two links, catch-up links. They're both mysteriously labelled day one from Miami. There's Jocko, he's not even playing. And what does day one mean? Does it mean the whole day? Does it? Buggery. Each link led to only one game. And yes, you guessed it. The first day one from Miami link opened on the Halep Badosa match, and the second day one link opened on Schneider versus Williams. You couldn't make this up, could you? I once knew a character called Mr. Hidden. We used to say, is he completely hidden or hidden there at all? Well, here's a case, finally, where Sky Sports Tennis Channel just isn't there at all. Okay, this is from Sunday, March the 25th, Miami. The first link is presumably Stadium Court, though it isn't labelled. They'd probably run out of crayons in the Sky Nursery. After that, there's Grandstand, Butch Cassidy, courts 1 and 2 as usual, further down. Now, just to be clear, there were 5 WTA matches on at this time on the main 3 and courts 2 and 7. It's the small hours of the morning in Cornwall, UK, and I want to watch Sabalenka versus Kalinina, but toggle through the other matches, keep an eye on what's happening. And there's Kalinina giving it hell on Stadium Court, and so let's check out Grandstand to see what they're doing there. Oops, you've missed it? No, it's still on, you chimpanzees at Sky. You just aren't showing it. And what's with the oops, you condescending bastards? Okay, let's try Buchholz. Katie Bolter, same thing. And court 1, 2 for Ostapenko and all the other courts as well. Check Stadium again. Well, maybe. Let's have a look back. Stadium Court. Well, there's the match as before. Thank you, Sky. But apart from that, the entire Miami schedule that I'm paying sodding Sky to watch has completely closed down. It's gone. It's DOR. And oops, the Sky goons are blaming me? You have got, as a man once said, to be kidding. Well, I'd better stop there. Every day there are fresh foul-ups, and I could do a daily rundown of them if I didn't have a life. Now, of course, I could be mistaken about this. Mark Twain said it ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble, it's what you know for sure that just ain't so. So I could be wrong. There may be stuff on this channel I don't understand, poor old bugger. But I've been a college music professor. I've conducted opera. I've been a best-selling Cornish folk singer, and I've been a windsurfing instructor. And nowadays I'm into badminton and tap dancing, and I can bench my own body weight in the gym, so I don't think it's me that's losing his marbles. Any tennis fans around, let me know what you think. Meanwhile, Sky, your tennis channel is bad, and I cannot fathom who amongst you thinks it's good. Kim, Abigail, Jessica, oh Christ, they are all women. I just don't understand how you folks at WTA ATP Federation have chosen to pimp out your wonderful sport to a useless outfit like Sky Sports. It's BDSM. I think you should refund the 10 million right now and take a bung from someone who won't just tie you to the bed and whip you with a string of wet sausages. Sky, compared with Prime, your tennis channel is either a fabulous fail or a fantastic fraud. Either way, it's a complete... And your dad were in First World War, wasn't he? This isn't what we fought for, is it?